Hey y'all, it is Hope from Crafty Hope, and I am here with my last three cards of the Use It Up, Fill It Up 2 challenge from Miss Tiffany over at Southern Gals Designs. You can find her on both Instagram and YouTube under that name, but I'll put links to both of those in the description box below. Now for this challenge, I am using the backs of old Christmas cards. I had used the fronts for another project. And this first one here, which is number 28 of the challenge, I put some collage papers down. These were just a mix of some book papers I had sitting near on my desk, and I was using them up and glued them down with an Oohoo glue stick. And then I've got a couple different colors, a bright purple and a gray that I just kind of smeared around on the page with a wet paintbrush. Now I'm trying to use Distress Oxides and that foam stamp, but I believe I got some paint on that stamp and did not clean it off, so that stamp, it may be no good. I'm going to try to clean it off later, but oh my goodness, I should have cleaned that stamp. And I'm putting down some gold paint, which is the back of a paintbrush, and I made, I don't know, kind of a pattern going from left to right. I knew I was going to put a butterfly down, and I kind of wanted it to look like the butterfly's path. It doesn't look like that in the end. I went underneath that path with a green soft pastel, and I don't even know why. I just wanted to add another color to the page. And I stamped my butterfly with some stays onto, it's just a little scrap piece of paper, and I'm fussy cutting it out. And I am not great with fussy cutting, but I do love my little tiny, I think they're like decoupage scissors is what I originally bought them for. And then I'm coloring in my butterfly with, again, some soft pastels. I've really been getting into those. Tiffany used some in one of her videos, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes! And I've absolutely enjoyed using them lately. Now I'm pulling out a bunch of little strips of phrases from a book. My sister-in-law got me these while she was on a trip, and they're from like Baron von Munchausen book or something, and some of the little phrases in there are kind of crazy, and I didn't think would work so much with that pretty little butterfly, so I finally found one that I thought would work. And I'm going around my butterfly with a gold Faber-Castell pen just to give it some sparkle like the gold dots in the background. And then I had some doodles and a couple more stamps with some hand-carved stamps. And that was it, guys. I'm glad that one is done. Now this next one is number 29, and it comes together okay, but it's still, it's just an okay one. I have some that I like and some that I don't, and this one's just okay. And again, I'm just collaging it with some ephemera. I've got some book paper there. That's, I think it's German or something. It's some crazy fun font, and I think there's a map and like a receipt, an old receipt, and a handwritten letter, and something from a catalog, and just a bunch of different little things. And I'm just smearing some paint down. First, I'm starting with like a really bright crimson red and then a light blue. And I'm using a paintbrush to kind of blend them and spread them around. And then a super light blue. And again, these are just getting wet and blended around there. And then I'm using a, what is that? A baby wipe. I always forget about my baby wipes. And so I was like, I'm going to pull out my baby wipe to see if I can blend those and push some of that color back. And so that's what I did before drying it and gluing down some of the edges of the paper that weren't working for me. Now I grabbed some underpaper. I've been struggling with trying to find ways to use underpaper effectively because it always has so much color on it, but I just haven't found a way that I like that doesn't make it feel chaotic. Now this might work if I hadn't put all the other colors down, and so I'm going to try this method again, which was just cutting out a scallop shape and putting it over on the edge of my card. I had a couple pieces of washi tape that were just kind of sitting over on the side of my desk, actually stuck to my desk, so I just stuck those down there and then scraped on gesso with a palette knife. And then I tried to pick up some of that gesso with a little piece of bubble wrap that came in some packaging from something I bought. And I'm using another hand-carved stamp and some stays on to add a couple little touches of black on that card, just a little something something. Now I got up to go across the room to grab a pack of stickers, and when I did, the camera moved, and you'll see up there on the left corner, that is my overhead light that's movable. And so Apparently my camera moved, it got out of frame, that light went in there, so I really apologize for this one and so much being out of frame. But I put that sticker down, went around it with an all pencil, and inked up the edges there. Then I take a Posca paint pen in orange and make a couple little ovals, and then over on the side I use a couple other different colors of Posca paint pens to just go around the scallops and kind of rub it, and it gives it a really soft feel to it. And that was kind of it, guys. This one's really colorful. It's not great, but I do like it. Now, this last one, I wanted to go out with a bang for this last card. So I wanted to do my best to make it as pretty as possible. And it is my favorite of this bunch of three. And I am sticking down several different kinds of book paper. And that's from an old time book that they used to use in, like, I guess the 20s and 30s. I have several of those that I like to use. And so once that gets down, I decide to pull out the metallic paints. Now, I had started with the metallic paints at the beginning of this challenge and kind of forgot about them. So I'm pulling them back out to finish this challenge. And I put some down with a palette knife, and then I'm putting that pretty teal down through a stencil with just a cosmetic wedge. And then I'm going to use another stencil to just put a little black acrylic paint down to add some contrast. I don't, I want some black on there. And I'm just scribbling with mechanical pencil to add a little softness. Those are the Tim Holtz, I think they're called the paper dolls. And I've separated them into the different sizes of them because it makes it easier than sorting through the whole stack for me. So I picked out the one I wanted, and I'm using a distress crayon and a brown to just kind of add a little aged feel to what's already on that card. And then I'm wetting it to just kind of get it to meld into the cards. So that's a distress oxide and a hand carved stamp with X's on it, and I add those on there because I like that orange with the purples and the blues. I don't even know why. And there's the soft pastels again that I've pulled out, and I'm adding a couple little touches on there with some different colors, just some doodles and rubbing it in different places. I thought that was kind of fun. The other day I had my sewing machine out, and so I took some scraps of paper and fabric and just sewed them together so I'd have neat little things to back up some of the sentiments I put on there. So I found one that I liked, and I'm gluing it down with some soft gel medium, and I use the same thing to glue down the paper doll because they're a little thick, and I like the heavier medium to get those down. And then I'm using, that's one of the Chit Chat stickers, and I also throw a little bit of that gel medium on there to make sure it sticks well to the fabric because, the little sticker doesn't stick. And I go around some of it with an all pencil, was a Stabilo all pencil in black, and wet it to blend it. And that's it, guys. I really like this. I hope you've enjoyed these. I hope to have some more art videos out for y'all. Make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Bye.